So, are you looking to buy a new iPhone? If yes, then today's video is the best one for you. Because in today's video, I will talk about, in my opinion, what are the best iPhones to buy now, in the beginning of 2024. New iPhones, refurbished iPhones, used iPhones. Which phones are worth your money and which ones should you choose? I'm making this video because I've had tons of comments in my latest videos asking me if they should buy the iPhone 15, should wait for the iPhone 16, what should I do, which phone is better for them. Android phone users, iPhone users, they want to know which is the best iPhone to buy now in the beginning of 2024. So I decided to make this video to help you guys out. Don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. The last couple of months have been crazy. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for dropping your like, commenting our videos, sharing. It really means a lot. Roll the intro. First, we need to understand something. Which is the best device for you? Well, if you have a high budget, maybe going for a new iPhone is better. It has USB-C. The iPhone 15 lineup is currently the only one with USB-C. For example, this is my iPhone 15 Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, the iPhone 15 Pro, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus are the only iPhones to feature the acclaimed USB-C port. Yes, this marvelous thing right here. The USB-C port is insane. But if you don't care about the USB-C port, then you are free to go and choose. Do you want an older iPhone, like this iPhone 12 Pro, which currently is really cheap and still has the squared off design of the iPhone 15 Pro and has Lightning? Or do you want 120 Hz? And so you decide to jump a bit more money on the iPhone 13 Pro. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Or even so, you decide that none of these iPhones are for you. You want to buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but you want to save some money. And so you decide to buy a refurbished iPhone 14 Pro Max. Which of those iPhones are the best for you? Well, first, to start this video, I need to separate two different categories on the iPhone. The used iPhones and the new iPhones. The used iPhones, they include the refurbished iPhones and the used third-party market, while new iPhones are only sold by Apple or other stores, but they need to be new. And the availability of these iPhones is lower. You only have the iPhone 14s available, the iPhone 14, then the iPhone 14 Plus, and then you have the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and then you have the iPhone SE. I want to take the iPhone SE out of the question because the iPhone SE is a terrible value. No one should be buying the iPhone SE, especially that in 2024/2025 we should get a new version of the iPhone SE that will be a much better value. Currently, the iPhone SE is terrible. No one should buy the iPhone SE. But from the new market, in terms of iPhones, there are only two models that I currently recommend on the iPhone 15 lineup. The iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Obviously, there are some things that depend. If you want the smaller sized iPhone, but you still want the Pro features like ProMotion, Titanium, USB-C, all of that is found on the iPhone 15 Pro. And so, yeah, I may accept that you choose the iPhone 15 Pro. But the iPhone 15 Plus is unacceptable. That phone is such a poor value. It's only $100 cheaper than the iPhone 15 Pro, comes with the same storage, so it doesn't even give you more storage, and it has much less features. Although it has a bigger display and better battery, it doesn't have the 120 Hz display, doesn't have the amazing camera found on the iPhone 15 Pro, doesn't have titanium, it's made of aluminum. It's not as premium, it's lighter, so you gotta decide. Do you want the iPhone 15 Plus, a bigger iPhone with USB-C? USB-C on the iPhone 15 Plus and 15 only has USB-C 2.0 speeds, so they are not as fast on the iPhone 15 Pro. The iPhone 15 Pro features the telephoto camera, the 3x telephoto, features the ultra-wide camera, features the normal wide-end sensor that is much better, the same 48 megapixel sensor, but it can capture more light. It's bigger, has a bigger aperture, so the video will look better with more bokeh. All of this is meaningful, and so I think that the extra $100 on top of that, especially for that ProMotion display and the extra RAM, are totally worth it. While the iPhone 15, $200 less than the iPhone 15 Pro, is actually a very good value. Still has the USB-C port, still has the 48 megapixel sensor, still has the incredible new design, and super light, super thin, the battery life is good enough, and because of the aluminum and small size, the iPhone actually becomes very light and easy to carry around. So the iPhone 15 is a much better value than the iPhone 15 Plus in my opinion. Yes, the battery is not as good, but the phone is about the same, and those extra $100 that you are actually saving means a lot. So if you are looking to buy a new iPhone and you don't really need much, the iPhone 15 is my recommendation. If you want those Pro features but a small size, then the 15 Pro is actually a very good choice. And if you want the best iPhone available, you don't actually have a budget, you just want the best, obviously just buy the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is a beast of a phone, the best ever phone that Apple has ever made, but it's kind of expensive, starts at $1,200. Actually, $200 more expensive than the iPhone 15 Pro. So this year, I do believe that you need to really justify to buy the iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you want a max phone, a big phone, yeah, this year the difference between this phone and the plus-sized phone is actually $300. So you need to understand, does it justify to pay the extra $300 for ProMotion, the 5x telephoto, USB-C 3.0 speeds, not Thunderbolt, and titanium, and the action button? For me, it's worth it, and I think you should save the extra money and buy the Pro Max model. You will be much, much happier. But I do believe that for most people, they will be better off with the iPhone 15, not the iPhone 15 Plus. As for the other new iPhones, the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Plus, I don't believe those are good value. Although the iPhone 14 is actually $100 cheaper or $200 cheaper than the iPhone 15, it features Lightning. It's almost the same phone as the iPhone 15 with two key differences that I think makes the iPhone 15 a much, much better buy. And that's the 48 megapixel sensor and the USB-C port. Even if you don't really like USB-C or you don't really care about Lightning, I do believe the extra $100 that you will be paying for the iPhone 15 is worth it. USB-C will future-proof your device, will give it so much more things that in about 2 years you will thank me for advising you like this, and obviously has the 48 megapixel sensor, which is way ahead the sensor found on the iPhone 14, a 12 megapixel sensor. So at the end of the day, if you are undecided between the iPhone 14 and 15, definitely the iPhone 15. And so for a new iPhone, disconsidering the iPhone SE, I do believe that currently the best value iPhone is the iPhone 15. And on the Pro lineup, just go for the Pro Max. I do believe that the 5x telephoto makes a huge difference. It's an incredible lens that I love to use. The portraits here are insane. And then the extra battery life, the extra screen real estate, the USB-C port that is really fast. Titanium is incredible. The action button, I don't really use it, but I do find there's a lot of people that really like it and use it. So yeah, on the Pro lineup, spend the extra $200, go for the Pro Max. On the normal iPhone, don't. Just go for the iPhone 15, the normal size one. As for the iPhone 16, what I say to people is, currently we are about 9 months away, 8 months and a half, from the iPhone 16 launch. And are you willing to wait that long? Can you wait for 9 months and use your current phone? Is your current phone okay? Do you have any problem with your current phone? If so, and if it's time to upgrade, then don't wait. The current rumors for the normal sized iPhone 16 and 16 Plus are just that it's going to have spatial video and the A18 chip, nothing more. While the Pro models are rumored to have bigger screens and obviously better chips, better cameras, a 40 megapixel ultra-wide camera. So in terms of the Pro models, it's a bigger upgrade. And if you currently have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, like this phone right here, if you currently have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, even the 14 Pro Max, the 12 Pro Max, and you think, yeah, my phone can handle 1 more year, then it's a good time to wait. If you have an Android phone that is still good, no issues with it, and you can wait until September of 2024, of this year, then wait, go ahead. 9 months, they go by pretty fast. But if you need the phone right now, I think it's still a great time to buy the iPhone 15 lineup. And if you follow my advice that I talked about earlier, you'll have no issues buying a perfect iPhone for you. They'll feel very happy. If you are a person driven by value, I do believe that the iPhone 15 currently is not the best option. I do believe there are better options on the market right now. For example, you have the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The iPhone 13 Pro Max, if you get used, refurbished, or a third-party user, this iPhone will give you 120 Hz, will give you a great camera system with great video, the triple camera system, the stainless steel design from the iPhone 14 Pro Max and older iPhones. It will give you 120 Hz, its main feature. It will give you an incredible screen-to-body ratio. Lightning port might be the biggest issue, but if you are okay with the Lightning port, then there's no problem. This was the best battery ever on the phone, currently being dethroned by the iPhone 15 Pro Max on the newest iOS 17 software, and the hardware feels very premium. I made a video talking about why the iPhone 13 Pro Max is still the value king in 2023 or late 2023, and now in the beginning of 2024, I continue to agree with my opinion. This phone is such a good value that I do believe still is the best value king on the refurbished market. This phone, you can find it cheap, $700, $650, 120 Hz, triple camera system, stainless steel, very thin bezels, A16 chip, I think, A15 chip, but still very fast, and All of this phone feels premium, feels like the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it's just a banger of a phone that if you have one, keep it. It's still an amazing phone. If you want to buy a very good value phone, you have about $650, $700, nothing more than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. If you can find it by that price, it's an amazing, amazing option. If you don't, then go search for the iPhone 13 Pro. It's also a great option, gives you all the same things as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, with the only difference being the battery health and the battery life. That phone, because it has a smaller battery, the battery will probably be more degraded and the battery life will be probably worse. If you can find a good battery health iPhone 13 Pro Max, then go for it. It's an amazing, amazing buy. Another phone that I do believe is pretty fun, and you will love it if you buy it refurbished, used on the third-party market, is the iPhone 13 mini. Yes, the iPhone 13 mini was the last of its kind. It's the smallest iPhone ever made, and it's super, super cool. Currently, I don't have any iPhone minis, but in the near future, I will buy one to review it, to see how it works in 2024, and to see if I like the form factor. I never used an iPhone mini before, and I'm super, super excited. But if you are looking to buy a mini iPhone, or if you want to spend the least amount of possible, but still get good hardware, a good iPhone with amazing displays and good cameras, then the iPhone 13 mini is for you. Don't buy the iPhone 12 mini, and let me explain why. Because of the battery life and the battery health. The iPhone 12 mini had not that great of a battery, and after 4 years of being released, the battery health will be very degraded. So if you buy an iPhone 12 mini used, refurbished even, the battery life won't be great, and you will probably complain about that. It won't last you the whole day, not near half of the day. It's actually very terrible, the battery life on the 12 mini, if you are a power user. If you're not a power user, maybe it will last you until the end of the day, but it's a pretty big maybe. If you want a good iPhone 12 mini but amazing battery life, join them together, pay the extra $100 and get the iPhone 13 mini used. They go around for $400, $450 right now. It's an amazing, amazing price. Yes, it doesn't have 120 Hz. It only has a 60 Hz display, has lightning, which is not that great. It only has the 12 megapixel main sensor camera and an ultra-wide camera. And yeah, it doesn't have the thinnest bezels on the game. But it's really fun. It's super small, super compact. The battery life is really good, equivalent to the battery life of the iPhone 12. And the cameras are really good for an iPhone 13 mini. Like, they are not the best, but they are better than the other 95% of cameras out there. So buy an iPhone 13 mini, you will be super happy. If you have an iPhone 13 mini, keep it. That's a really good phone. So those were my recommendations for the used and third-party market. The iPhone 13 Pro Max for those power users on a budget, and the iPhone 13 mini for those that want a small phone but still super powerful with good battery life. And again, summarizing the beginning of this video, if you want a new iPhone, don't buy the iPhone 14s, buy the iPhone 15 and the Pro models, the Pro 15 Pro and Pro Max. I don't think that the iPhone 15 Plus is a good value. Completely forget about the iPhone SE, that's simply a terrible phone. And on that note, which iPhones currently you shouldn't buy? Well, starting with the iPhone SE is really easy. That's the newest iPhone that you shouldn't buy. You can still buy it new, $349 I think, or $429, I'm not sure. Still, terrible value, don't buy it. And then, on the refurbished market, I started to see a lot of iPhone 12 Pros popping up. And I was thinking, why does this phone only cost like $500? It's stainless steel, glass on the back, matte glass, triple camera system, still a good design, lightning port, still has the A14 chip. Why is it so cheap? And then I understood why. It still has 60 Hz display. It's still the old camera system, so it's a 12 megapixel main sensor. It's the 12 megapixel ultra wide, the second generation ultra wide camera ever on an iPhone, and it wasn't that great. The telephoto is completely useless. It's a 2x telephoto, but it's not good. Like, the low light performance here is terrible. The camera performance here was very disappointing, very close to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And then, the worst part of this phone was the battery life. The iPhone 12 Pro had terrible battery life, while the iPhone 12 Pro Max was a different story. The only difference between the iPhone 12 Pro Max and 12 Pro was the battery life and obviously the camera system. The camera system was a bit different, especially the telephoto. The telephoto is a bit better, with better aperture, and it's a 2.5x telephoto, not a 2x. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a better iPhone with a better telephoto, and it's more useful. So, if you are looking to buy an iPhone 12 Pro Max, depending on the price, you can find it cheap, and if the battery health is good, you don't really care about the performance of your phone, you just want a big iPhone with a big screen that is OLED, that it has the newer design, so you actually think you fit in, then the iPhone 12 Pro Max is a great option. I will do a separate video on that phone in 2024 if it's worth it to buy or not, but the iPhone 12 Pro is definitely not the option. Don't buy the iPhone 12 Pro. Even if it has a good price, the battery life here will be a trap. Imagine the battery life of the iPhone 12 mini currently, it will be about 30%, 25% better. So for most people, it will die during the day, especially with the battery degradation found on older iPhones. So currently, the iPhone SE, the iPhone 12 Pro are a trap. And I wouldn't buy the iPhone 14 Pro either. The iPhone 14 Pro has reportedly had not that great of a battery life since the beginning, and now I have some commenters saying that the battery life on their 14 Pro is actually not that great. And from experience, my brother has an iPhone 14 Pro. His iPhone 14 Pro dies during the day, pretty often. So the battery life on that phone is not that great, and it's still super expensive. It still costs you around $800 for that phone. For that money, I would buy again the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But what do you think? What do you think of my list for the new iPhones you should buy? The iPhone 15, the 15 Pro, the 15 Pro Max. Completely ignore the iPhone SE and 15 Plus. Don't buy any of the iPhone 14s, especially the 14 and 14 Plus. Even the Pro Max models are kind of expensive and they still have Lightning. And if you don't really care about USB-C, which in my opinion is a huge deal breaker, then you have the option to go third party, refurbished, and in my opinion the best phones there are the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and especially the iPhone 13 mini. So if you're a power user on a budget or you want the smallest iPhone possible, these two iPhones are the options. For the iPhones to avoid, remember, don't buy these iPhones, the iPhone SE, and in my opinion the iPhone 12 Pro / 14 Pro. These are the phones you should avoid because I don't think they are a good value in 2024 anymore. But let me know in the comments below what you think. While you're there, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. This journey has been amazing. Oh my god, almost at 2200 subscribers. This is just crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.